Hello, everyone. I'm back with another episode of the Kingdom Minded Podcast. I'm your host, Pastor Shane Blackledge, and today I am doing an interview with our guest speaker. His name is Samuel Bartolatto, and he actually lives here in Hualien, Taiwan, and he works and runs the Agape House ministry that is here. That is the first of its kind drug and alcohol rehabilitation center, but there's so much more to the Agape House than just that. That's how it started. It seems like it's continuously branching out. This is an amazing and incredible ministry here in Taiwan that's impacting and changing lives, and he's here to share his story and his testimony to you. And so I'm just truly blessed that I even have the opportunity to be here in Taiwan, that I have the opportunity to be here at the Agape House with Samuel. And so he's going to go ahead and share his testimony. And Samuel, just thank you very much for taking the time to do this.
All right. Thank you for inviting me. And I first of all, I'm my parents, my dad and my mom, they were the founder of Agape House, and that was like 42 years ago. And so I can say I'm the only kid in Taiwan that was raised and brought up in a rehab center. Probably the only one that have this kind of background. So I was born in Hualien, and then right after my mom left the hospital, we lived in Agape House. So I had 17 years of my childhood in Agape House, from from 1 year old all the way to 17 years old. So that's a very special and quite different background I have. So from that, it's funny because like people always ask me like, how is it, growing up in a rehab center? Actually, when I was a kid, I didn't know who these people were, like outside my room, and they were just friends. In my opinion, like I grew up here. Some of them teach me Chinese, some of them teach me math, because my mom and my dad too busy doing all other stuff. So they let me hang out with these people. And even during my youth time, I grew up with the youth that's living in the rehab. They teach me some good stuff, and also I learned some bad stuff. Okay, so it's quite different. And for me, knowing that my parents run a rehab was probably after I was like 13 or 14, because even every day I come outside my room, and then I can hang out with these friends. I learn different stuff, and then but slowly I realized that the news and the stuff that we play around in Agape House are quite different than what the topics of my normal friends are talking about outside Agape House. So that separated me from like knowing like I think the people in Agape House are quite different, because like the topics they talk about and all the stuff they joke around about is quite different than the stuff I learned in school.
Right.
So then the time goes by, I realize that people are in my people that I live with are not normal kids. And then
when did you like realize that?
Because like sometimes during the night, the cops will come.
Oh wow!
And they will drop off some kids, and then the next day the kids will be playing with us. So then that quite before I knew something was wrong, that was just a way of living my life. You just wake up, and then sometimes your best friend, next day the cops come in and take him away because he got some other time he has to do in the prison. So then people just come and go in and out of my life. And then sometimes my parents, at night, they get phone calls, and I hate nighttime phone calls because whenever the phone rings at night, because I sleep with my parents and we have like one big room, so I can hear the phone ring, and then I can hear they pick up the phone, and then I something bad happened on the other side, and then they start crying. I didn't know. I didn't know what's going on, and then they drop on their knees and they start praying, and then they're crying, weeping, and then praying for mercy. And then the older I get, I realize all that late night phone calls are from people who OD. People
my
who
gosh.
overdose from having a vacation. They go out from Agape House, they go home, and then they do drugs, and then again, and then they do the the amount of drugs. When you hit heroin,
Yeah.
if you do the same amount, like half a year ago, you do the same thing. It's easy for you to die.
Oh my gosh.
So then a lot of people they on vacation from the rehab, they go back and then they overdose, and then their parents found out, and then so they call my parents.
And that's the phone calls.
And that's the phone calls. And so I hate late night phone rings. And then because every time I know what's going to be after that is my parents going to be crying, and then they're going to be heartbroken. So I get some questions about why are they putting so much effort and time on these kind of people that are not even trying to get well themselves. And sometimes these people are acting very normal, very good in front of my parents. And I see them, on the other hand, inside the dorms, they talking, they joking around, and it's two different people. So then I have a lot of anger towards why are my parents willing to let them lie to them? So a lot of times I go to my mom, my dad, they're lying to you. Do you guys know? And I asked them, why do you let them lie to you? They said they always reply, they need time. It's not time. It's not their time yet. We need to give them more time. So that was when I was a kid. I hated because like every day, during dinner, during lunch, and they come to school, pick me up. We go to the restaurant, and they always talk about other people's lives and the ministry. So I was raised in this kind of atmosphere, and my life was little when they have so many other lives that they have to care about.
Yeah.
So I didn't like it. But in the other hand, I was enjoying having a good time with these kids inside Agape House. So I'm a only son, only kid, but I wasn't ever bored because I had so many friends at the ministry. So during my time, I grew up, and then they started to look at my life more and more because of my parents are like the founder, my dad's the pastor, so they um, over they like I need to act more straight, or because of not who I am, but because of who they are.
Yeah.
So I need to live a life.
You're a pastor's kid.
I'm a pastor kid, and so I have to live a life that
reflects
that, and then to show that I'm a good kid. So then, whenever they go to teach other people won't have anything to say about their son.
So there's a lot of pressure on
it's a lot of pressure,
my gosh.
and so I didn't like this kind of background. So I try to leave, and then I think it was when I was 17, I went to the other side of Taiwan to go to a middle school and a high school there. And after that, I came back to Hualien, and I had my own restaurant. I didn't want anything to do with this ministry because.
So did you end up going to high school then?
I went to high school.
Graduate?
Yeah, graduated of high school, and then came back to Hualien and finished college, and opened a restaurant. And I didn't want anything to do with this ministry because because there's too much drama and it's too much bad news happening in this music. Of course, there's good news, but more bad news than good news during my childhood. So I didn't like it. I ran away, and then when I was having a restaurant outside, my one day, I think it was like 11 years ago, when I was 28. um, one day my dad came to my restaurant, and then we had a talk, and then he went and get his car at the parking lot, and then that night he fell, and then he didn't wake up anymore, like heart attack. So he left. He dropped to the ground, and he went to the hospital. I rushed to the hospital, but it didn't. I didn't have a chance to say goodbye. So
how old were you when this happened?
That was when I was like 28.
Oh,
28.
wow.
Yeah. And so my mom even asked me, "Hey, do you think we should pack up and just go back to the States?" Because they know that this kind of ministry, they didn't want me to deal with this, because they know how much sacrifice they have to take.
What it took to
do this.
Oh,
they don't want me and my family to have to go through all that.
Yeah.
Probably deep inside their heart, they want me to try, but then they never ever ask me, do I want to learn, or do I want to take over? Do I want to go study social work or be a pastor? They never ever tell me what they want me to do. I think they know that this has to be a calling from God. It's not something that your parents say you have to do and you can do it good. So I didn't have that pressure. But then when my dad passed away, my mom asked me, do you think we should pack and then just go back? And then I told her, probably wait a while and to see how this how the board and how this all going to work out. So then I had a struggle to see, should I come back and help my mom, because she's now by herself, and then the ministry is also growing, or should I just like should we just leave and then see what God wants to do with the ministry? So I pray, and then I ask God, if you want me to come back, I'll try to sell my restaurant. And then so everything went well. And then at first I came during the morning, and at nighttime I go back to my restaurant and see how this is going to work. And then right away I knew that this work, it's not a part-time work. If I want to do it good, I need to give up everything or a lot that I'm already doing or I love to do. So then I pray, and then I ask God, and then, well, my restaurant had a good deal of selling it. So then I thought, okay, God, you want me to sell my restaurant? It was a good price, so I sold it. And then I came back, and right away, actually, I was sitting in, every day I come and I sit in the office. I wasn't like a big manager or anything that time. I was just like a kid that comes back and trying to learn. I was sitting there, and then all kinds of stuff is happening, and then all kinds of problem that I can see in this ministry in different lives. And at the same time, I have almost all the answers for everything, because all the dinner time, all the lunch time, when my parents are talking about the ministry, I was there listening my whole life. So years, and wow. I didn't know that was building me up. Someday when I sit on that table, when I sit in that chair, I can understand everything that's happening. So when I was sitting there, I realized that I knew almost all the ways of making this ministry better and helping other, and because of all the background, all the background knowledge, and that made me understood why I was raised and brought up in this ministry. But then that was just the first part. But then I was still struggling, because I knew I need to give up a lot to do this the right way. And everything went okay until um, until one I think it was like 8 years ago. Um, this youth halfway house we have, it's called Victory Song Garden, and had a fire, and so the second floor burned out,
Oh, wow.
and my mom had choked by the
Smoke.
smoke. So she went to the hospital for 2 weeks,
Oh my
and so
gosh.
nobody was taking care of the. Everybody's looking at me like, okay, so what now? But I wasn't, like, I was nobody at that time. But then when everybody looks at you and so like, hey Samuel, it's your time, it's your turn. So what now? How are we gonna do this? How, like, every day there's like newspaper, like all um, these people are coming and the government's coming to care about what happened, and then we need somebody to stand out and to talk for the ministry. And so that fire actually had a lot of thing to do with me knowing my position in this ministry. So I stood up and I started talking as the leader of this ministry, and that was 8 years ago. And that brought me to the front line of doing what God wants me to do. And at that time, I started to pray different. I pray that God, you let me. Yeah, I was born in this family. I didn't
Right.
choose to,
Right.
and in all this background and all this childhood, I didn't choose to. You put it in me. You put it in my life, and now I can understand the reason of why everything is happening. And if I know, if I want to do what you want me to do, I need to let go. And then I need to say, I am willing for you to come and be the way, and let me know what's next. So,
To be guided
because
by the
nobody
Holy
is
Spirit.
guiding me.
Yeah.
Nobody's guiding me. My
Yeah.
mom's in the hospital. My dad's passed away. Nobody will ever tell me what's next and how to do it. So then I needed to be guided by God, and that's actually every time my parents pray and they were um, discussing any situation that happened in Agape House, they always bring God into the answer and ask God how they're gonna do this. So then I knew if God led them from 0 to 20 some years, if I'm gonna take this from 20 some years to the 40 some year, I need to have the same guidance,
Yeah.
or else it's not
It's not
going to
gonna work.
work. It's not going to grow the same way. So then I think that's the first part of me having my life coming back to Agape House, and then willing to let God guide me. And now, so, but now we have different, different, um, different problems, because now Agape House are doing pretty good. The government um, put in more money for us to go and to have like more opportunity to work with the government. But then it's actually another danger part, is because if you take a lot of money from the government, sometimes they control. They want you to turn left, you have to turn left. You can't do
Right.
what you think is right. So now the the hard part is staying still and going the direction that God wants you to go, even though the government are not paying for that direction. But you have to stand still and then know that that's the way the Bible teach, not the government, not the professional, because there's a lot of professional starting to come out saying how people um, should learn to get off drugs, and they need medication, they need um, this way. But we know, like in our teaching, on God's the only way of getting a life recover. Of course, we need doctors to get our, the outside
Counselors and
counselor out
therapists. Yeah.
there. But then the the main way of having a life to return from the dark to a normal life. It's finding the creator of the life. You need that. You need that power. You need that way of bringing back different lives to God, to the normal lives. Yeah.
Mm. That's amazing.
So that's a little about my background and how I grew up in this ministry and how things working now. And so it's my 11th year working here.
And you work here full time.
Full time. Yeah.
Wow. And now you have a child.
Yeah, and his name is Aiden, and he's 5. He's 5, and it's quite different because I didn't want him to have the same background I have.
Right.
I knew I had to go through a lot. Actually, I learned too much, too young. That wasn't supposed to for that kind of age to understand all kinds of stuff and listen to all kinds of different topics that a young kid shouldn't listen to.
Yeah.
You know, so did that hurt me?
So you grew up early.
Yeah. Did that hurt? Of course it hurt. It makes me did want to try different stuff during the when I was youth, and when I leave Agape House to my high school years and stuff. I did try different stuff because all that stuff I heard I long time ago. I was grow up listening to all kinds of stuff. So then that sure affect me a lot when I was in my teenage time. Yeah. So I don't want that to happen to my kids. So no, I take him. I still bring him to the ministry, but we don't spend too much time. I don't let him just go in the dorms and then go anywhere he wants to go and then talk to anyone he wants to talk to. I still have to have some boundaries.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah.
Which is good. Yeah, that's good. And what do you do now in the ministry to continue growing it? Like, what do you see Agape doing in the coming next 5 years that Agape is not doing right now?
I think we we are trying our best to hold on to our beliefs because we know, just like what I said, the government or a lot of people who sponsor this work, they want us to like the government, they sponsor a lot for our salary and all this stuff, and they want us to do certain ways. It might not be the right way, the way that Bible teach.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I think for now that we have to hold on to is we need to still preach and then share the gospel, and we need to know this is the only way of letting a sinner to have relief or to have total deliverance.
Right, because the world teaches you can stay off of drugs this way, but the Bible teaches this way.
Yeah.
Right.
We don't just want people to get off drugs, because getting off drugs is the easy part.
Step.
It's the easy part.
Yeah.
We want them to have the opportunity to go into heaven, to be by God's side. And then these people who have Jesus in them, they will be the people who share the gospel. So that's like 1 + 1 bigger than 2.
Yeah.
So we want that to happen in our ministry. We want more people to get well, and then they turn back and they want to bless other people. Yeah, that's the goal for us for now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, like 80% of the people who work here, we have 53 workers,
Employees. Wow.
employees, and 80% of them are from the background are from Agape House,
From the ministry.
from the ministry.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
So then that's what we believe, that only them can understand what the other
people are going through.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that's incredible. That's incredible. And so Agape House, one of their main ministries is to stay here for 2 years,
Yeah.
and amongst other people. So there's a men's for men.
Yeah.
There's for youth,
It's for you.
and then you have a halfway house for men. And do you have a halfway house for women then too?
We used to.
Yeah.
We used to.
Okay.
But we have it stopped for a while because it's downtown, and then the government owns the house, the building. So then they want us to do something else. So now we stopped the women's ministry for now, because we didn't have that much women co-worker with us.
Yeah.
So then it's hard to we need a team before we have the program. So
Right.
yeah. So
Right. And Agape House also has a car washing business.
yeah. And a wood factory.
In a wood factory.
And yeah, we go out and we get different jobs and work different like house moving company. We also have a house moving company that we help people move houses, move stuff. And so like people come in here for 2 years, they come in and they get off, they have it, they get healthier, and then they start to build up their own what's it called, confidence.
Yeah.
And then we need to teach them how to earn like how to stay alive when after they come out Agape House, how to find a job, what kind of job they want, what kind of job is good for them. So we open different companies, not because of the companies are going to make money, because the owner outside, they don't understand our people. So whenever they use our people for work, sometimes when they talk, if they don't talk the right language, the right tone, our people will, like the people here, it's easy for them to just, screw it, I don't want to do this anymore. Get upset and then just let go. So then, because of the people outside, the companies outside, they don't understand them, and we understand them. So we want to give them jobs. So we want to be their boss. So it's easier for them to
give them more time,
more opportunity,
Yeah.
more chance.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why we open a car wash. We have a moving company. We have like different companies in Hualien. It's because it's easier for them to stand up and then try this kind of path, try the right path. Yeah.
That's amazing. And you were sharing earlier that there's different levels of Bible teaching during the 2 years.
Yes.
And so the 2-year time period, so you have it kind of laid out that they have to kind of reach these certain goals before they graduate.
Yes.
And so then is there a graduation then after the 2 years?
They can either choose to stay or to be or to go to the halfway house. And we don't have a graduation, but we have social work that plan, like after Agape House, do they have to rent a house? Do they have to buy a car? Where do they want to go? We have all that planned out and help them start planning their lives after Agape House, after the rehab.
Yeah.
And then let them go out, try it. But then we contact them like every week. We still have a meeting. We want them to come back to our church or the church outside. So then we know what they're doing and how they're doing. So then that connection will be still on us and them. And so anything that happened, we want them to find the right way of dealing with pressure, dealing with sadness, because life's gonna be tons of struggles, even though you're a Christian, or even though you've been through this whole program, there's still going to be problems in your lives that you need to find the answer to. And we want you to choose the right way of dealing with problems and pressure after you've been through our program.
Yeah. So also with this Agape House, and then the 2 years, you've seen, because this is a 41-year ministry.
Mm-hmm.
So you've learned mistakes,
Mm-hmm.
and then you've learned what's good,
Mm-hmm.
and what's most important is what do you do with your life after Agape House?
Yeah.
And you were talking and sharing with me earlier about the importance of getting connected to the local church, because people that come here to Agape House, they're not all from Wallin, right?
No,
they're from different cities.
Yeah. We want we have different. It's been 41 years. There's a lot of people that come through our program, and then they go to Bible school, and they open their own church.
Wow.
Not just Hualien, but all over Taiwan. So then those are the church that we want to have connection with, because all those pastors that go through rehab, not just Agape House, but different rehab in Taiwan, that's Christian-based rehab. We have connection with them. So then when this person go through our program, they go back to Taipei or a different city.
Yeah.
We contact that city, and then we contact the special church that the pastor knows about our brothers, knows about their background.
The background. Yes.
So then they can be accepted in that church. They feel comfortable to go to that church, because the pastor probably was a drug addict before, and so they understand how they're going through. Yeah, so that kind of connection, we want more of that connection in Taiwan. Yeah.
So do you remember like these youth that you were playing with and stuff like that, getting dropped off by the police? Like, do you have any connections with any of the youth from way back then as you were growing up?
Yeah, actually I do. Because Facebook came out,
Oh yeah.
So you can search different people online, but a lot of them passed away, and a lot of them turned into be adult addicts. Yeah, and it's sad, because you used to grow up with them, and then you see bad stuff happening, because they only come for, I don't know, a year, 2 years.
Yeah.
And but when I contact them, and they always find Agape House are more like a home for them than their real home.
Wow.
Yeah, because that kind of kids, they get dropped out of school, they go join gangs, because they don't have a home for them. They have a house, but it's not home.
Yeah.
They go back. Their parents probably beat them up, and then never talk to them. So then they find their other groups outside to be comfortable with, and that's why they leave home, and then they do bad stuff, and it gets sent to Agape House. So then Agape House let them have it like more home like for them. So now whenever they come, they actually come back once in a while. They come back to Agape House to see me and my mom, and then it's more like a family for them, us, than their own family. Yeah,
that's good. I've heard many stories since I've been here, just in a few days, of people that were in the Agape House, and they turned out to be realtors. They turned out to be business owners. I heard today that people that came through the ministry went to Bible college and then became pastors.
Yeah.
And so we are seeing the fruit of the labor.
Amen.
And sometimes the very hard things in life you see, but you also get to see the good things, and that's people's lives are being transformed. People are being changed.
It's hard because it's God is doing work. God is working in different lives, but sometimes, just like what my parents always tells me, they need time. Sometimes you want to see the fruit
like
right
right
away,
away.
but it's not
Yes.
going to happen that way. You know, sometimes you're gonna feel sad. You're gonna see frustration. You have to deal with all that. These people are going to drop, are going to come back up, drop again, come back up again. You know, you have to be faithful to God. You have to believe God will do His work someday, sometime, and before that, you have to wipe your own tears out. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes
Yeah.
it's hard for you to be with someone and telling them what to do, and they're not going to do it right, and then you know they know the answer, you know the answer, but he's not going to follow the rules, and it's just hard. It's just a long journey to be with someone and to recover. You know, so you need to have your eyes on God for the hope. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I know in the United States, there's a statistic that for those people that are drug addiction or alcoholism that go to a 30-day treatment and go and get back out, only 5%, if that,
That's pretty great. That's pretty high.
will actually stay sober. Yeah. And I know, like, for people in prison right now, the rate of going back is 75%. And then if you stay in rehab for 90 days, that percentage can go up to like 10%. Yeah. But there's some statistics that are showing from 12 months to 14 months in a discipleship program like Teen Challenge in the United States is an 85% success rate. Why do you think that is so successful? Is that, do you see that type of rate with Agape?
Yeah,
you do.
You stay. The longer you stay, the longer you can be clean, be sober.
Yeah.
And I think that's because you get feed more. You get feed. You get strong. You get strong. You fight.
Yeah.
You can fight bigger problems. If you don't get feed, you're weak.
Yeah.
And if you're weak, so what's the weak and strong? It's your spirit. If you have a strong spirit, then you know you're still going to have trouble. You're still going to have fights, but you're ready. And then we want every one of them when they leave Agape House, they have to take God with them, because we are busy doing our stuff. Whenever they need help, we want them to look for help from the heaven, from God, and that way, when they try to find help from God, we believe that God will help them, and we want that to be a habit for them the rest of their lives. So then, when they go out, we want a church for them. We want them to have a Christian lifestyle.
Yeah,
and that will longer their time of going back to drugs and alcohol. Yeah.
Wow. Out of the people that work at Agape House, who here has been here the longest? Besides, of course, Andy, who's been here the longest? Maybe with her.
I think there's like 3 or 4 coworkers that's been here over 25 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like probably their first job.
Really?
Yeah. Probably their first job besides selling drugs, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible. That's so cool and amazing. Well, Samuel, thank you very much for taking the time to be interviewed, to talk about Agape House. It's truly a blessing. Thank you for having us here to visit your place here. Thank you for having us going to the prisons. and just it's just been amazing. A few days that I've been here in Wallen, and I'm so grateful that I was connected with you and with your mother and with this ministry, because really this is God's work here happening, and it was God's will for Agape House to stay flourishing and growing. And if God's in it, it will grow. If God's in it, it will keep going. And I see how God was grooming you your whole life. He was grooming you for this time now. And I truly believe that, man, the best is yet to come.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. Thank you.
So
Thank you guys for coming.
Yes.
I had a great time.
All right. God bless you guys.
Thank you.